Wasn't too long ago that John Tanner was here before us, and he had been reported as saying that while it's a shame that elderly voters may be disenfranchised by a new voter ID restriction at the polls because many of them don't have driver's licenses, minorities don't have to worry about that because they die first. Remember that?
Yes, Congressman.
Was he right?
Congressman, Mr. Tanner has apologized for those comments.
I didn't ask you whether he apologized. I asked you whether he's right.
Congressman, Mr. Tanner has apologized
Is he
for
right?
those comments.
Is he right or not?
Congressman, Mr. Tanner has apologized for those comments.
I heard that answer. Yep. I'm asking you whether he's right. Are you declining the answer?
He has stepped down from
I want to ask you if you are refusing to answer my question.
Congressman, Mr.
Are
Tanner,
you refusing to answer my question?
Congressman,
well,
Mr.
then answer
Tanner
it.
Has apologized for those comments.
I heard you say that.
Down from his leadership role.
I heard you say that. Was he right?
Congressman, I'm not here to throw dirt on John Tanner. He
well,
was dedicated.
Let me ask you this question, because I'm not asking you about whether he's dedicated or not. I'm asking you whether he was right, but you don't want to answer. So let me ask you this. When he said that seniors, older voters, senior citizens will be disenfranchised by new photo ID restrictions at the polls, was he right about that?
Congressman, I can tell you what courts have found on that point.
I know what report. I want to ask you if he was right or not. Are you familiar with the Wisconsin study that was done in June of 2005 at University of Wisconsin?
I'm not sure that I am, Congressman.
Okay, well, there was a study out there, and you're the deputy of the voting rights section, right?
I'm a deputy assistant attorney general.
Right. And I would assume that since you know all about other studies, that you'd read the literature out there. Are you telling me that you're not familiar with the June 2005 University of Wisconsin study on the impact of photographic identifications on voters?
Congressman, there are a lot.
You don't know about that one.
There are a lot of studies out there.
Just tell me whether you know about it or not. Say yes or no.
Not offhand, I do not know.
Okay, well, I did. I read that study, and I read the one you talked about as well. And in the University of Wisconsin study, it estimated that 23% of the people aged 65 and over did not have a photo ID. Do you dispute that? No, because you didn't read the study. Good point. Less than half of the Milwaukee County's African American and Hispanic adults did not have a valid driver's license or photo identification, compared to 85% of their white counterparts who did. Are you familiar with that finding?
No, Congressman, it's interesting.
Are you familiar with that study or not? Are you familiar with that finding?
There have been a lot of findings made by a lot of studies.
I'm asking about this finding. Just say yes or no.
I'm not familiar with that particular
study.
Thank you.
So that would be no. All right. Are you familiar with the other finding that stated that for young minority adults, ages 18 to 24, about 26% of the African American youth and 34% of the Hispanic youth had a valid driver's license, compared to 71% of their white counterparts who did. I guess you don't know about that one either, huh?
Congressman, I'm familiar with a lot of studies. I can tell you what courts have.
There's no question in front of you right now, sir. I'm going to ask you to wait till I get my question ready. Let's just talk about Indiana for a moment. Now, I wrote an amicus brief opposing the Indiana statute because it is unconstitutional. Are you familiar with the 24th Amendment?
I believe so.
There's a lot of those, too. Do you know that one?
I'm familiar with the Constitution.
What does it say? What does the 24th Amendment say?
It's the poll tax amendment.
Good. Right answer. And doesn't it say that to impose a financial barrier to voting is unconstitutional?
I don't have the language in front of me, but that's the gist of it. Correct.
Right. And to acquire a photographic ID would require some money, right?
Well, in Indiana, the
how much does it cost? How much does ID cost in Indiana?
Well, the state does have provisions for free.
I'm not asking about that. I'm asking you how much an ID costs in Indiana.
Well, I don't know the answer to that, but I do know that Indiana provides for free photo ID.
Okay, what do you have to do to get a free ID? Do you have to state your economic status to get a free ID?
Yeah.
Do you have to state your economic status to get a free ID in Indiana?
There is an.
You are the Deputy Attorney General. You should know this. Do you have to state under oath, state your economic status to get a free ID?
There is an indigency exception under Indiana law.
And do you have to state your income to apply under that exception?
I'm not familiar with all of the requirements of.
Well, I am, and you do. As a matter of fact, the 24th It says that economic status be a barrier to the ballot box, and to have to swear that you're poor to get a free ID is requiring that making income a barrier to the ballot box. The Indiana law is a flagrant violation of the law, and I look forward to it being struck down as unconstitutional.